heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A solo ride of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last rise.
Good afternoon. I hope you're having a great afternoon. My name is Matt Williamson. Welcome to Marietta College eSports. We're going to be starting up in just a little bit. We're just double checking some rules to make sure that we are able to broadcast stuff because there were some discrepancies with the rulings, but we wanted to make sure that we were going to be able to broadcast this for you, and it looks like that we are going to be okay with it. With that said, this is the AVGL League of Legends Community Tournament. This is there's a 16 tournament. It is a best of 1 series, so it's win in advance, lose, and you go home. So this is going to be a very exciting match. The Pioneers will be going up against Rochester Institute of Technology for the first game. We're already in the lobby, and we should be underway very soon. Like I said, we're just double checking the logistics to make sure that we're okay with streaming, but it does say coaches are allowed, and I am the coach of the team. So we will be able to broadcast that. So as soon as everyone is good to go, we will be underway, and I think you're just about here. So let me just double check everything here to make sure that there aren't going to be any issues. I think we're just getting things set up in the lobby. Okay, so everyone is there. While we are waiting, we'll go ahead and give the starting lineup. Oh, actually, never mind. They have already started up here, so let me get the audio going here, and we'll go straight into Champ Select. Marietta will be on the red side, and Rochester will be on the blue side. So you already see both Zoe and Pike being banned, so we will not see either one of those in this match. We do see Ari being banned by Rochester, and we'll see what Marietta decides to ban next. You don't have that. You do see the Lucian being banned, very popular champion right now in the meta. Well, he's popular in any meta. We will not see Vayne in this matchup, and then we'll see what the final ban is. And it looks like it will be Sejuani, so we will not see her in the jungle. So Rochester does have first pick, and it looks like they are going for Jarvan as their jungler. So we will see how Marietta is going to respond to that. And we see the Galio already being picked out. This one's actually a flex pick. He's been primarily mid, but lately he's been pretty good at support. So it's very well possible that they will be going for Galio support. But you never know. It could be mid either way. So it's a good flex pick there. And we see the Zac being picked out for Bludger. So Zac has seen some prominence lately. I've seen a couple of matches with that. So we'll see what Rochester decides to go with next. They're taking their good old time with this one. Looks like they're hovering over the Alistar, and they do lock in the Alistar for support. So they may be anticipating that Galio being a support, so trying to get that engage right on top of Galio, because Galio is really good as a distance type support with his Q. So they're probably trying to see if they can counter that. And it looks like they're going to follow it up with maybe a Jinx. At least they're hovering over that. No, they're hovering over Kai'Sa now, and they do lock in the Kai'Sa. So now Rochester's bot lane has been revealed. So we'll see what Marietta decides to do for their next pick before the second wave of the ban phase. And Marietta's taking their good time, but they're hovering over the Sivir. And that is what they decide to lock in. So a very interesting combination here for the bot lane. So Sivir trying to keep the distance, but really good engage and disengage with her ult. We do see Silas being banned. He has been enabled this week. There were some issues with him being extremely overpowered, and the last patch did apply some fixes. So he is now allowed to be used in competitive play. So Marietta does not want to go up against that. So we'll see what Rochester decides to ban next. And we do see the Lysandra being banned now because they're both sides. It's because like the jungler and the bot lane have been picked, so all that's left are the top lanes and the mid. Assuming once again that Galio is support. We do see the Kennen being banned out. So now we'll see what the final ban will be for this game. And it looks like it will be the Vladimir. We won't be seeing him at all. So now we'll see what Mary decides to go with for their next pick. I would anticipate that being the top lane pick, just that way they can get that final counter pick for potentially the mid lane. And they go with an Irelia. Irelia is definitely one of those that's been pretty strong. I mean, there is a reason why everyone says better nerf Irelia, because no matter how many times you nerf her, she just is still OP. So now we'll see how Rochester responds to that pick, because they still have to go with their top and their mid. So it's looked like they're coming with the Swain, and I'm pretty sure that's a mid lane pick. Or actually, this could be interesting if they're hovering over Yasuo. Okay, it looks like they're hovering over Kayle. Kayle's actually pretty strong now with the changes that Riot's made. But now it looks like it's going back with the Yasuo. So this could be interesting because you could put both. You could put either Swain or Yasuo in the top and mid lanes, and decide to lock in the Urgot instead. So, although you've seen Urgot mid too sometimes. Although I would anticipate that being Urgot top and Swain being mid. So now we'll see what Mary decides to do for their mid, anticipating the Swain. And this goes with Fizz. Fizz is one of those very trolly assassins, which is actually quite the advantage because Swain is powerful, but he does have mobility issues. So Fizz is a really good counter for Swain here. So it looks like we do see the matchup here. So we do have a little bit of time because because while they're choosing their loadout and their runes and all that, there is still the 3-minute spectator delay. So let me explain a couple things that's been going on with esports, especially if you weren't with us yesterday in our very brief match in the Teemo Cup. So once again, this is part of the AVGL Community League of Legends tournament. 6 teams are in this particular tournament, and we did not get a bye, of course, but we are playing Rochester Institute of Technology. If we win this match, then we will be playing against Boston University in the semifinals. This is a best of 1. So that means whoever wins this game will advance, and whoever loses is pretty much done. Let me go and give you the starting lineup because, as we mentioned a little bit yesterday, there actually has been some changes in our lineup. Our roster is the same, but the roles are a little different. So we made some changes to the top, jungler, and mid. So in the top lane, we actually have Cressman, who used to be mid, but now he's at the top lane. For the jungler, we have Bludger there instead of him being in the top lane. And then finally, for the mid lane, we have Larson there. He used to be jungling. And part of that has to do with just trying out a couple things. Plus, Larson actually has some experience in the mid lane, especially he's been with some semi-professional teams, so he's had some experience there. So we're trying some little differences here. Cressman actually played a lot of top lane before, and Bludger used to be a jungle main. So it's one of those, Why did we not do this in the first place? I don't know. But we made those changes. Of course, Dangerous Doge is still the AD carry, and MC Cowboy will be our support. So we have that going on. Yesterday, the Pioneers are participating in the Timo Cup, so it is kind of part of the CLOL series. Although they didn't advance to the playoffs, the Timo Cup is kind of like the NIT for CLOL. The other team had to forfeit because not everyone was able to arrive. So the Pioneers will be advancing on to the next round, which will be this coming Saturday at 4 o'clock. And I believe they'll be playing against Hofstra eSports. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I butchered that. But they will be playing that game. That will be a best of 3, but that will be this Saturday at 4 o'clock. So we have that going on. We do have our other teams, but no tournaments just yet because the Rocket League season's pretty much done from TESPA. The Overwatch tournament through TESPA is still going on, but the Pioneers did not advance to the playoffs. But there may be other tournaments down the line. AVG does quite a few community tournaments, so there could be another Rocket League community tournament coming up. So if that happens, we'll be sure to let you know. And how would you find out? Glad you asked. Just be sure to follow us on our Twitch channel here. You can also follow us on our social media. So you can go to Facebook, facebook.com/Marietta College Esports. You'll go to our Twitter page at Marietta Esports to find out the latest updates. Any news that's going on with Marietta College Esports will be posted there. If you don't remember those links, we do have the links provided in our Twitch channel, so you can go down there and click the appropriate links. So your support is definitely greatly appreciated. All of our matches are uploaded to our YouTube channel later on. So if you are a Twitch subscriber, you will automatically get access to our VODs on our Twitch channel right away. But if not, then you can check out the matches on our YouTube video about a week later. So like this match today will be uploaded to our YouTube channel next Sunday. This is just sort of give an incentive for those who do subscribe to our channel, because that support is much appreciated. So not only you get access to our VOD, you get access to emotes, and of course your support will help with our program financially, whether it's for trying to set up scholarships, hire more staff. So all that is definitely greatly appreciated. And we've already gone through the 3-minute delay, and we are just about there, so I'm just making sure everything is good to go. We disable that. And then here we are. I normally say this is game 1, but this is the game. It's Marietta College versus Rochester Institute of Technology. Let me get rid of these because this is a best of 1. So we don't need any scores there. We just know that RIT is on the blue side and Marietta on the red side. We do see the typical line of scrimmage. We don't see any invades going on just yet. Although we do see some convergence going on in the top river. And Fizz was caught out, but he will get away. He takes a little bit of damage, but at least he knows where they're at. So he's not too worried about that damage. Don't see too much else going on. We do see some pings going on in the bot lane. So RT might be thinking that some of the Pioneers are over there, but they'd be incorrect. It looks like Marietta has successfully, correctly pinged out someone that could be in the little pixel bush there. We do see a couple wards coming out. So it looks like Rochester will start with the red buff and Marietta will start with the blue buff. So the really interesting matchup here will be in that mid lane. Let's see how Fizz does against Swain. Fizz should have the advantage, but I think a lot of it's also going to come down to jungler participation. So there's not a whole lot to really talk about at this point, other than just the farming phase. So we just have to see what the junglers decide to do, if there are any engages. But right now, things are pretty even. Although Swain does seem to be pushing out Larson a little bit. He does have a decent CS advantage. But this will be a pretty good challenge for the Pioneers, because I believe most of the players with Rochester are Diamond or Platinum players, so they are very good at what they do. So we do see here that Fizz has been pushed out quite a bit. So I think once Larson gets a couple more levels, he'll be able to push back and get more of a wave clear. We do see an engage going on with Alistar trying to get some damage onto Sivir. And Galway will use the taunt to just kind of prevent him from doing any more damage to Sivir, but Sivir still is about half health. We do see another engage, a very aggressive bot lane here. We do see Galio trying to put something onto Kai'Sa, so both AD carries are actually a little on the low side for health, and Sivir gets dangerously low. He's probably going to have to back away because it's very dangerous to die. And then we do see both the bot laners are moving away. And we do see a little bit of invade for Jarvan. Does spot out Zax, and they know exactly where he is. But similarly, Marietta knows exactly where Jarvan is too. And it does look like that Zac will head in to kind of help the bot lane a little bit, get some CS, so that way it doesn't go wasted. So right now it's just a battle of the CS, and Rochester is winning that battle, especially in the top and mid lanes. And Cressman gets very low, and this is a first blood for Rochester. Urgot is still very powerful. We do see a little engage on here by Fizz, taking Swain down to about half health. We do see Larson getting pushed out a little bit. The range advantage is definitely with Swain. We do see a little bit of an engage going on onto Swain, having to pop something. And we do see a skirmish going on in the bot lane, and Galio gets extremely low. The ignite is enough to finish him off. And meanwhile, Zac did try to get a gank attempt onto Swain. He did pop his ult. I think we saw that earlier, but nothing came out of that. Although I will say, despite the CS issues earlier, it looks like that both Cressman and Larson have come back a little bit. They're still behind on CS, but not as much as they were earlier. Yeah, nothing too much going on. The junglers are not in position for any ganks just yet. Yeah, I mean, Zac is backing out. You see a little bit of a skirmish here in the top lane, but just a little bit of training damage here and there. But he is already getting a lot of his health chunked and having to burn this corruption potion. Or corrupting potion. Meanwhile, while that was going on, it looks like Swain was able to, and it looks like Urgot popped his ult and took out Cressman. But we see that Urgot was, not Urgot, but Swain popped a ward over at Marietta's red side. So they're able to spot out where Bludger would be. And it looks like Jarvan was able to take Bludger's red buff. Meanwhile, we do see Fizz doing a little bit of roaming, getting some deep vision to be able to determine where the jungler is. You see a little bit of trading going on, but nothing major there. And it looks like Jarvan may be going for a gank attempt onto Fizz. He was waiting for the engage, and Larson will try to get out. And that was a really good move by Larson. Although he did whiff the ult. And we see Zac coming in with the counter engage. And Dangerous Doge is already in position too. So we got quite a skirmish going on here. A teleport comes out with Urgot. No one's actually dead yet. Oh, now that with that said, Jarvan goes down and so does Swain. Although it looks like Zac is going to pay the price for that. But that is a 2-for-1 in favor of the Pioneers. That was a brilliant collapse. Although it may not have been done just yet, but it was a great collapse. So we had Larson and Bludger going in, and then Dangerous Doge and MC Cowboy saw that the bot lane was going up, so they go up to respond. Actually, no, they were up there before, and then Cressman comes down to be engaged. So that was just a really good move on the Pioneers to be able to get that engage and get some kills there. So that's exactly what Marietta is going to need to be able to stay in this game. Because right now, that Urgot is pretty powerful. 2-0-1 with practically a 15 CS lead over Cressman. That Urgot shield is very powerful. He pops his ult again and just takes out Cressman. Although we do see some pings going on in the bot lane. It looks like Swain was going to try to do something, but Bludger was there to say, no, you're not going to do that. We do see a little bit of fighting going on here. Yeah, it looks like Larson's wanting to go after, thought maybe he's going to go after Jarvan, but at least he knows he's there. And just a brilliant move there to dodge the Cataclysm by Jarvan. And of course the thumbs up there. Yeah, but it looks like Larson definitely has some experience on this Fizz, which is anticipating where Jarvan was either going to land his Cataclysm or land his Spear and just bounce in a different direction. So that could actually play some mental games there with Jarvan if he keeps being able to dodge his attacks. So we'll see if that plays a factor later on in this game. But with all that, Rochester is still in the lead. A little less than 3,000 gold. But it looks like there's 4 members of Rochester there, and they are ready to collapse. There, I don't think they knew how many were there, and MC Cowboy is going to pay the price, or he's going to get away, and Zac is there for the counter engage, but MC Cowboy will go down. We see the Swain all coming out, and they're just taking a whole bunch of damage. And Bludger will go down, and Urgot's there to get some damage and takes out Sivir. I don't know why the names are not appearing on the death. That might be a bug with spectator mode. But that is 3 kills for 0 in favor of Rochester. So that is going to give them the mid tower. And they may try to go for Dragon at the same time. It looks like Jarvan and Kai'Sa will be going after the Dragon. We see the Galio coming in. Superhero landing. but doesn't really catch anyone. But Urgot is definitely, he pulls in the death from above and actually takes out Larson as well. And MC Cowboy, well, it's 3 versus 1, so he's dead too. So a lot of things went right for Rochester there, with just being able to work on the Dragon while putting pressure in the mid lane. And at this point, they're just really far ahead. So if you're going to get an engage onto anyone from Rochester, you're going to have to outnumber them. You're going to need more people to be able to take them down at this point. It's not over yet. I mean, it is a 5,000 gold difference, which is pretty substantial 13 minutes into the game. But we'll see if Marietta can do something to respond. So they're going to have to try to keep up their vision, because right now, the vision battle is definitely in Rochester's side. I mean, they got like 4 or 5 wards in the top jungle, and another 5 in the bottom jungle, compared to a couple of wards that Marietta has. So they're definitely winning the ward battle, and we do see that Rochester's trying to go for the Rift Herald, and Marietta spots it, but they can't do much to contest it. There's already all 5 are at the Rift Herald, and not everyone from Marietta is there, so they can't contest this. So this will be a free Rift Herald. Now the question is, where are they going to put this? Then I'm going to anticipate that they're going to try to put this in the top lane. Jarvan is heading towards that direction. Although we do see the Rift Herald being summoned in the top lane, so Marietta is going to have to respond to that. So meanwhile, Urgot goes. Okay, we just see the ult being popped out for Swain, but does not catch Fizz. And that Rift Herald does help secure first tower for Rochester. And there's just a fight going on in the top lane, and Irelia does get some kills. So there is a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane, and meanwhile Larson does take down Swain. So that mid tower has been defended. So despite the deficits, Marietta is putting up a fight. We do see Urgot going straight for Sivir and trying to take it down, and it does so successfully. So MC Cowboy is just going to have to get out of there. Alright, so what is Marietta going to have to do at this point? So they are down about 5,000 gold. So they're going to have to look for picks. They're going to have to try to get like a 2v1, a 3v2 or something, and try to pick one person off at a time. And then they're going to have to just try to keep out farming, keep pushing. And we do see the engage going on here. And the superhero landing comes down, and that's exactly what Marietta needs. Just as I was saying, we need to get the picks, and they gotta pick onto Kai'Sa, and that's gonna stop the mid lane push. Meanwhile, we got Larson down in the bot lane, just split pushing. But they're still gonna be careful, because Swain's coming down there, and Cressman's there by himself. He does not have a tower to protect himself, so he's probably gonna be dead here. And he's dead. But even with that, Marietta's just going to have to keep farming, keep looking for picks. So they had a really good engage in the mid lane to stop that push. So right now, as far as CS goes, it's actually not too bad. Like the mid and bot and AD carries, the difference is pretty small. It's just the big difference there is that Urgot's. Yeah, 702, 125 CS. He's just extremely powerful at this point. And that's not to discount Swain or Kai'Sa. It's just Urgot is very beefy right now. We do see Swain getting some pressure onto this tower, and he probably will get it. Although there are some pings going on in the blue side jungle. Looks like they're trying to take Marietta's blue buff. And I think they're going to get it. But part of it is because the next dragon is up, and it is an Infernal Drake. And the problem is, Rochester's already there to take it, and Marietta was not in position to contest it. So this is a free Infernal Drake for them. So they now have a Mountain Drake and an Infernal Drake, which can be very dangerous. So Marietta once again has got to look for picks. Christmas trying to get some damage onto Urgot, but he's just so tanky at this point that Irelia is just not very effective, especially when he's only 2-5-0 at this point. We do see Zach getting the engage onto Urgot. It looks like they are trying to collapse onto Urgot. They got 3 people on him. They had to burn a lot of ults, but it looks like they might get him, maybe? Waiting for it. And they do get the shutdown. But while it's going on, the other 4 people from Rochester are going to be able to take this mid-inner tower. I don't think they're not going to pressure the inhibitor tower. But at least they did get the shutdown onto Urgot. So that will definitely help. I didn't get a chance, I don't even remember who got the kill there. Let's see where that shutdown gold actually went to. I believe it went to Crescent, yeah, because he was 2-5-0. So the shutdown gold does go to Irelia, which will help him out. And we do see Zach coming in for the engage. Superhero landing comes down, doesn't catch anyone, but we do see the fight going on. And just a lot of training go back and forth. Slane will pop his ult. And we just kind of see everyone disengaging a little bit. So no deaths there, but a really good defense by Marietta just to try to hold off that that tower. And it looks like Fizz is going to try to get something, at least stop the backs. I don't think he's going to do a full-on engage, but he was able to disrupt them a little bit. So then the question is, what's going to be the next objective? So, I mean, Baron's going to be up in 16 seconds, but I seriously doubt anyone's going to go for Baron just yet. Although, Rochester is trying to establish some vision around there. Alistar does get spotted to know where he was. And Marietta is going to have to start getting some towers. They only got 1 tower, while Rochester does have 4. So yeah, Rochester's just getting some Baron vision. And I'd be very surprised if they try to go for this. I think this is just they're going for, okay, we do see the engage going here with Irelia versus Urgot, but Urgot's going to win this matchup right now. And I think he tried to pop the ult, but was just not enough to execute Cressman. Yeah, I didn't think that Rochester was going to go for the Baron at that point because it was way too early, and if they were going to, they were probably looking to peel off and try to engage onto Marietta. But they are still staying around there, so I think they're maybe looking for a potential pick, because if they do, it looks like now they are starting at the Baron, and that is going to force Marietta to respawn, so they know this is going on. But Baron's already getting very low. And they do secure the Baron. And we do see the team fight going out. Jarvan does go down. But who else is going to go down? Because right now, okay, Irelia goes down and Galley, because Galley was very low. So it's looking like the fight is going to go to Rochester. But people are getting so low. And we do see a trade between Kai'Sa and Fizz. So right now, that was a 4v2 in favor with Rochester winning that fight. So I mean, it was a good attempt. At that point, you have to go for the fight because they did get the Baron. And they did get some good picks. It was just, they had Baron and they were already ahead by a good amount. So 3 people from Rochester still have the Baron buff, so I would anticipate, yeah, so Urgot still has it, so he's going to be split pushing in the top lane. They're already pinging out for the Dragon. The next Drake is up in 7 seconds, so they are going to go for that next. So the question is, will Marietta try to go down to respond? And I don't know if they will. They're going to start trying to clear some waves. So it is a Mountain Drake. We do see some converging going on. They know that Rochester wants this Dragon. And teleports have been burned by both top laners, so it would be a 4v4. And right now they're trying to collapse onto the blue buff, and they do get the blue buff. And 2 people from area does try to get some damage onto Urgot, but he's just way too powerful and was able to take out both Crestman and Bludger. So Jarvan's going to solo tank the Dragon while the rest of Rochester start pressuring all 3 lanes, and they do get the Mountain Drake. And it looks like Urgot's going to be able to get this top tower without too much trouble. And Marietta just doesn't have an answer. He's 10-1 and 2, and he's just, when 2 people are not enough to take down Urgot, there's just not much that, yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do there. So right now there's pressure just going on in both the mid and top. The inhibitor goes down, and this may be Marietta's final stand. So 2 inhibitors for the Pioneers are down. It looks like they're going to just rotate down to the bot lane. It looks like they're going to get all 3 inhibitors. So at this point, this is probably Marietta's final stand. And we do see an engage going on into the back line. And just Alter going left and right. And just so many kills. There are 3 for the Pioneers are already down. There's 4. So Larson's the only one remaining. And he's just not going to be able to do anything. So both the Nexus towers are down. The Nexus will be going down. And that is going to be game for Rochester. So that is going to be it. So as we mentioned before, this is a best of 1. So that just, what that means is that Marietta will fall to Rochester, and they are now out of the tournament. But despite, considering the team that they went up against, they did pretty well. They had some really good engages. It's just that Rochester was the better team today. So unfortunately, Marietta will not be able to advance any further in the tournament, but it was a really good learning experience to play up against a team of Rochester's caliber. So that'll be it for us today. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Appreciate everyone who has come out to view this match. Be sure to follow us on social media, on our Facebook or Twitter, or even subscribe to our YouTube channel. So this match will be up a week from now. Just don't forget that this Saturday, the League of Legends team will be continuing in the Teemo Cup tournament. So that will be this Saturday at 4 o'clock. So we will see you then, and hope you have enjoy the rest of your afternoon and the rest of your